Hey everyone! In today's video, we will be concentrating on how to effectively describe and analyze line graphs. Line graphs are a common type of visual data representation in the IELTS exam, and mastering them is crucial for achieving a high score. Throughout this tutorial, I will guide you through the essential steps of interpreting line graphs, identifying key trends, and structuring your response to meet the IELTS criteria. Whether you are a beginner or looking to refine your skills, this session will provide you with valuable insights and practical tips to enhance your writing. Let's get started. Now, let us turn our attention to a sample writing task 1 question that includes a line graph. The writing task 1 format typically presents you with a visual representation of a data in a form of a line graph. As the initial step, it is crucial to give your full intention to reading this information. Now we'll see the question card. The line graph below shows the average monthly temperatures in 3 different cities over a year. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Now, let's turn our attention to the line chart. What key observation can we make from the data presented? The title of the chart under consideration is Average Monthly Temperatures in New York, Tokyo, and Sydney. The vertical side of the graph shows the temperature in degrees Celsius. Along the bottom, you can see the 12 months of the year. We can also see that we have 3 cities, New York in blue, Tokyo in red, and Sydney in green. So that's our line graph. To achieve a well-structured and coherent essay, it's essential to organize your writing effectively. It should have 4 clear sections: an introduction, an overview, and 2 main body paragraphs. First is the introduction. This is where you introduce the graph to the examiner. You should paraphrase the information given in the task, specifying the graph type, data presented, and time period. Next is the overview. Here, you provide a general summary of the main trends or features shown in the graph. Avoid specific details like numbers or dates. Then comes body paragraph 1. This paragraph should focus on the first main trend or feature. Use specific data to support your points. Finally, body paragraph 2. This paragraph should focus on the second main trend or feature. Use specific data to support your points. Remember that your goal in IELTS Writing Task 1 is to describe the presented information clearly, not to give your personal opinion. Therefore, don't write a conclusion in Task 1. All right, let's talk more about starting your writing. To create a strong introduction, it's essential to do more than simply rephrase the question. Many candidates make the mistake of repeating the question using the same words. To achieve higher scores, consider incorporating additional information from the graph. Let's see this in action with a real question. We'll build a strong intro using more than just different words. We'll also grab details from the title, the key at the side, legend, and the labels on the bottom and left side, axes of this bar graph. So instead of writing, the line graph below shows average monthly temperatures in 3 cities over a year. We should write a paraphrased version of this information by using synonyms. Here's how I wrote it. The line graph illustrates the average monthly temperatures in degrees Celsius for 3 cities, New York, Tokyo, and Sydney, over the course of 1 year, from January to December. The temperatures are plotted at regular monthly intervals. As you can see, I kept the first 2 words the same. I did not change the line graph. And you should never change the type of graph because it will alter the meaning. And then comes the verb, which can always be replaced with a synonym. It's a good idea to paraphrase the verb. So instead of shows, you can use illustrates or gives information about. You can also use depicts, demonstrates, or presents. Next, I list the cities. Instead of just saying 3 different cities, I name them specifically as New York, Tokyo, and Sydney. It's a good technique to provide specific names, as being specific when introducing the graph is important. Always try to list the cities in your introduction. Finally, we include the time period, which is over the course of 1 year from January to December, rather than simply saying over a year. This clarifies the exact time frame for the reader. And the temperatures are plotted at regular monthly intervals, providing additional detail about how the data is presented. So we have our introduction. It is precise and clear, offering a thorough explanation of what the graph represents, the cities involved, and the time frame. Now let's get to the next part. After you have written the introduction, you need to write an overview. An overview is a short paragraph that tells you the main points from the chart. When writing an overview, you should not state any specific details. You should just write what's happening on the graph overall. So no dates, no numbers, no percentages in your overview, just general trends. So let's take a look at the key features on our graph. It's easy to note that New York and Tokyo experience significant fluctuations in temperature throughout the year, while Sydney shows a more moderate variation. And here's how I wrote my overview. The average monthly temperatures in New York and Tokyo show significant fluctuations over the year, with peaks in the summer and troughs in the winter. In contrast, Sydney's temperatures are more stable, with only moderate changes throughout the year. As you see, I'm just saying that New York and Tokyo have significant temperature changes, while Sydney's temperatures are more stable. And I use the linking word in contrast to compare the trends. So the overview captures the main trends and differences observed in the graph, providing a clear and concise summary of the data. Here are 2 alternative overviews, so you can gain a deeper understanding of how to interpret and convey information more clearly and accurately. The line graph indicates that New York and Tokyo experience considerable variations in average monthly temperatures, reaching their highest points during the summer and their lowest during the winter. Conversely, Sydney maintains relatively stable temperatures throughout the year, with only slight fluctuations. Throughout the year, New York and Tokyo exhibit significant swings in their average monthly temperatures, with notable peaks in the warmer months and dips in the colder months. Meanwhile, Sydney's temperatures remain comparatively steady, showing only minor variations across the year. Once you're done with the general overview, you should provide the exact details. It helps to split your detailed writing into sections. And to do that, you need to group your data by some features. We can group data in 2 ways. The first way is to group by city, so that we can describe each city's temperatures in a separate paragraph. We could describe New York's temperatures in the first paragraph, Tokyo's temperatures in the second paragraph, and Sydney's temperatures in the last paragraph. Or the second way is to group by similar trends, the same way as we did in our overview. The second option is more logical, as it follows our overview, and I choose this option. So I will describe the fluctuating trends in one paragraph for body paragraph 1, and the stable trends in another paragraph for body paragraph 2. Here's what I write for my first paragraph with the details. I begin by writing the information from the start of our time frame. In January, the average temperature in New York is around 2 degrees Celsius, while in Tokyo, it is about 5 degrees Celsius. Both cities experience a rise in temperatures, peaking in July at around 28 degrees Celsius for New York and 27 degrees for Tokyo. After this peak, temperatures in both cities decline, reaching their lowest points in December at approximately 3 degrees Celsius in New York and 6 degrees in Tokyo. You see, I chose the peaks and troughs to be important points. It's up to you to choose your important points. However, you should always indicate the temperatures at significant points in the year. And finally, I describe Sydney's temperatures. Sydney starts the year with an average temperature of 22 degrees Celsius in January. Throughout the year, temperatures in Sydney show moderate changes, with the highest average of about 25 degrees Celsius in February and the lowest of around 14 degrees Celsius in July. By December, the temperature rises again to approximately 22 degrees Celsius. As you see, I used superlatives and adjectives to highlight significant points. Also, I always support my details with data. For example, I specify the temperatures at different points. You should support your writing with enough data too. So if you say that there was a change, don't forget to write the amount of change. Write how big it was. By adhering to this structure and incorporating the elements discussed, you'll be well equipped to craft a comprehensive and coherent response to a Task 1 line graph question. Consistent practice and analysis of sample responses will further enhance your ability to excel in this task. I encourage you to explore additional resources and seek feedback on your writing to refine your skills. Best of luck with your IELTS preparation.